I've lived in Georgia my entire life, so there aren't many things that are going to surprise me about the area. But if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're not as familiar. So today, I'm going to walk you through the top 10 realities of living in the state of Georgia so you know exactly what to expect. Georgia has around 11 million people, which is pretty large compared to the average state. But what's important to understand is that over half of that population lives within about 50 miles of Atlanta. So what that means is Atlanta and the surrounding suburbs are where most of the action is, and naturally that comes with more traffic and busier roads. But as you move further out, things start to open up quickly and you'll find a lot more space and a slower pace of life. On that same note, with all the growth Georgia has experienced, especially around Atlanta, traffic can definitely be a factor depending on where and when you're driving. But the trade-off is you've got access to a major city, job opportunities, and a lot of amenities all within reach. If you don't like the weather in Georgia, just give it a little time. It might change on you. That's something I've heard my entire life. And while it's a little bit of an exaggeration, there is some truth to it. Even recently, it was in the 30s earlier this week, and now we're in the 70s. The upside is Georgia has a generally mild climate overall with long warm seasons and very little snow compared to a lot of other states. Now with that warmth does come some humidity, especially in the summer. It's not just hot, it's that classic southern heat that you definitely feel. But on the flip side, you get more time outdoors throughout the year, which a lot of people really enjoy. One thing that surprises a lot of people is just how diverse the landscape is across Georgia. Up in North Georgia, you've got the mountains, places like Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Dahlonega, where it feels completely different from what people typically picture when they think of Georgia. Cooler temperatures, scenic views, it's a huge draw. Then around Atlanta and the surrounding suburbs, you've got rolling hills, established neighborhoods, and access to some of the state's most popular lakes, especially Lake Lanier, which is a big lifestyle perk for a lot of people. And as you head further south, the land opens up more. You'll see farmland, agriculture, and a much quieter, more rural feel. So depending on where you choose to live, Georgia can offer very different lifestyles within the same state. When it comes to housing, one thing you'll notice pretty quickly is that a lot of it is subdivision style living, especially in and around the Atlanta area. You'll see a lot of planned communities, newer homes, and neighborhoods with amenities like pools, tennis courts, and walking trails, which is actually something many buyers are specifically looking for. There are definitely options for more land, custom homes, or older properties with character, but most of the growth has been in these newer communities. And along with that, Georgia is generally more of a drive-friendly state. Most people are going to be in their cars to get where they need to go. There are some walkable pockets, especially closer to Atlanta, but overall it's built around convenience and accessibility by car. One of the biggest reasons people are moving to Georgia is the affordability, especially compared to other parts of the country. Home prices here are generally lower than places like California, New York, and even parts of Florida and Texas. And while prices have gone up, especially around Atlanta, you can still typically get more space and value for your money here. Property taxes are another advantage. Georgia tends to be lower than the national average, which helps keep monthly payments more manageable over time. Now, of course, certain areas, especially top school districts or locations closer to the city, are going to be priced higher. But overall, Georgia still offers a strong balance between cost and value. Georgia also has some really unique attractions that you won't find just anywhere. You've got Stone Mountain Park, which is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the state. The Georgia Aquarium, one of the largest in the world, is right in downtown Atlanta. And Six Flags Over Georgia is a big draw for families and thrill seekers. And beyond that, you've got the mountains, the lakes, the city. There's always something to do. So if you like having options when it comes to entertainment, Georgia definitely delivers. The food scene here is another big plus, especially in Atlanta, which has gotten national recognition in recent years. You've got spots like the Optimist, Staple House, Miller Union, and Gun Show, all highly regarded and even nationally recognized. But it's not just high-end dining. You've also got incredible barbecue, southern food, and a ton of international options. It's a really well-rounded food scene. When it comes to schools, this is one of those things that's very location specific. There are some areas, especially in the suburbs of North Atlanta, known for strong school systems, and that's a big reason why families are drawn there. At the same time, quality can vary depending on the area, so it's definitely something you want to look into when deciding where to live. The good news is you've got a lot of options, including public, private, and charter schools. Looking at overall cost of living, Georgia is still considered affordable compared to many states, but it's also grown along with demand. Everyday expenses like groceries and dining are generally reasonable, but since most people are driving regularly, things like gas and car-related expenses are worth factoring in. Utilities can also vary, especially in the summer months with the heat, but overall it's still a manageable cost of living for most people moving here. And finally, something that surprises just about everyone at some point is the pollen. Springtime in Georgia it's noticeable. You'll definitely see that yellow layer show up, especially on your car. It's something people are here used to, but if you have allergies, it's just something to be aware of. The good news is it's seasonal and it doesn't last all year. All right, so those are some of the top realities of living here in Georgia. Like I said earlier, I've lived here my entire life, so this is just giving you a real honest look at what to expect, both the pros and the things you'll want to be aware of. If you're thinking about making a move to Georgia, our team has helped hundreds of families relocate here, and we'd love the opportunity to help you as well. Whether you're just starting to explore or you're ready to make a move, feel free to email us to start a conversation.